Welcome to the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Cause freedom of speech is what us individuals have. It's the gift when we gab, talking about things that the brainwash cannot mentally grasp, like staying loud and waving our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing their MAGA and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad, like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say, and deep government state wanna get up in our face, but hasn't done it yet cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we could throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will go down in history as one of the GOATs for making the swamp pay for taking every one of his votes. His enemies are the cancer, whether or not Trump give him the smoke. Now relax it back and take notes as we kick facts with the homie Ray though. Speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said, speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we're not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Speak your mind. It's freedom time. Without even trying to, we make them liberals mad.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Good afternoon, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. Welcome to a great afternoon edition of the Patriots Lab. And I got with me today, you already know who she is, Jen, the homeschooling mom. And I got Randy, the genealogist Rhodes, which is, he got a title, Genealogy Road to Dixie and Studio 6. So make sure y'all rewrite it. I know y'all had it in there as Road to Dixie or Road to Halfway Confederacy. I don't know what you had, but the new title, Genealogy Road to Dixie Studio 6. Write it down so you make sure you get on the right platform. Last thing you want to do is think you listening to Randy the Genealogist Rose and you really listening to Uncle Flip. So, Jen, how are you today?
Doing great. Thanks, Ray Ray.
Good.
That's
And
great.
Randy?
With all the bad news and everything, yeah. Don't watch TV. You'll feel great.
But sometimes you gotta watch TV, Jen. Sometimes you do because you miss.
Yeah, you
if
do.
you don't watch TV, you miss good stuff. We're gonna start it off. Let me
You're
see.
right.
We're gonna start. I think I'm gonna start this show off on a good show. And you don't get to see this too often. I don't think I've ever seen a president do what I'm about to show y'all right now. I mean, we watch him do.
Oh, help us.
But let me just show the video because I don't think this has ever happened before.
The same news conference that we wanted to show you. That press conference was on the side of the old post office building, which Trump is converting into a hotel. A woman in the audience if he'd hire veterans at that hotel. Here's how he responded.
What are you looking for? What kind of a position? Come up here. Come here. She looks so smart. Good. Do you mind if I do a job interview right now? We need good people. How are you? So what's your experience in front of the world?
Well, I design, I do wreaths, I do all types of decorations.
And you like this building?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. There's the man. Stand right over here. If we can make a good deal in the salary, she's going to probably have a job. Okay? All right. Good. Have a good time. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Good. Thank you. So nice. Really nice. I felt good about her. I tell you what, I looked at her. I said, I have gut instinct, okay? And we're allowed to have that. And I looked at her and she asked a question and it was a very positive question. She looks like she's got a great look and look at that with the tears. How nice. She just seemed like a good person to me.
Okay. When was the last time Big Bruce is in the building? when is the last time you actually seen something like that? I mean, I'm going to see Trump now.
That
I
was
mean,
beautiful.
this man is giving out jobs at press conferences and rallies. I mean, my goodness. That says it all. That says it all. Good morning, Big Bruce. How are you, sir? See if we can get Big Bruce on the airways in here real quick.
Hello?
What's going on, Big B?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. So
Good.
what were you guys watching?
We was just kicking off the show with a nice clip from Trump downtown Manhattan doing some groundbreaking down there. And I guess there was a lady in the audience that asked him a question if he would hire any veterans. And he just plucked her up on out of there and gave her a job. Well, depending on the salary. They got to see if they can get the salary stuff worked out. I don't think that's going to be a problem when Donald Trump offers you a position. I think salaries are negotiable at that point.
Right.
What do you think, Randy?
Right.
Was that a good gesture?
You really want my answer?
No, of course I do.
Oh no.
Just don't step on me. You know, my first gut instinct is this. How often does the president of the United States, and I still say he's the president of the United States, give an interview at I guess she's buying a new building or redoing a building, whatever. I'm not sure what the background of that building was, but to be there at the pedestal, taking questions, blah, 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 back and forth, and have your HR guy standing off in the wings, and a person walks up and says, hey, do you hire veterans? Well, that's a stupid ass question to ask. You know, first of all, it's illegal not to, okay? Secondly, Trump is known to support the military, so yeah, sure, he's going to hire a qualified vet. And then to pour up out of the audience and, you know, a quick couple of words and boom, she's off to a job interview. I'm not saying it was staged, but the way things have been going nowadays, I wouldn't put too much past because he needs good video. He needs people to see him in a different light from what the Democrats and liberals have been trying to picture him into. So yeah, he has this lady, a black woman, by the way, previous a vet. She didn't say what branch. Let's assume Army, Air Force, maybe. She just happens to ask, "Do you hire veterans?" Well, next thing you know, she's off to a job interview. Not saying it's staged,
That's
but
the second time you said it, though.
I know. I'm going to say it a third time. Not saying it wasn't staged. But my
really
gut
think
says it
You
was.
sure about that, Randy? You sure it
You
wasn't
think-
staged?
You think all of a
You sure it
sudden?
wasn't staged?
You think all of a
'Cause I
sudden
probably
Trump
believe it would
cares
be
about what
staged.
people think?
I
Trump
believe it's
never
staged.
cared about what people think.
Brother, would you mind playing that video again for me since I didn't get to see it?
Yeah, he called Haiti a shithole. I mean, Trump speaks his mind, so he's not.
Well, he shouldn't be.
in
He
my
shouldn't be
opinion,
talking that way.
He's not gonna go out there and go out of his character to please anybody. If he hasn't showed you, if you ain't riding or dying with him for who he is and how he is, it is what it is. He's authentic through and through. I don't think he's got to be a person to put on some type of scam. You're either going to love him or you're going to hate him, and he's accepted that fact. But let me go ahead and see if I can pull this video up. So
When you know people get to a certain age and they've already, lived their life like that, and how they act or how they talk, they're not going to change that. I mean, that's just the way life is.
let me see. See, this is what I do. if I can pull it back up. If I can find it. Sometimes it's hard to do. And I got too many things going on in here. It won't open that one up. But I might, let me see.
All right, there was a strange moment at that same news conference that we wanted to show
Okay,
you.
I got it.
The press conference was on the side of the old post office
Here we
building,
go.
which Trump
Who
is
is
converting
that?
to a hotel. A woman in the audience asked Trump if he'd hire veterans at that hotel. Here's how he responded.
What are you looking for? What kind of a position?
Oh, okay, Randy.
Come here. You look so smart and good.
Thank you, Randy.
You mind if I do a job interview right now? We need good people. How are you? So what's your experience in front of the world?
Well, I design, I do wreaths, I do all types of decorations.
And you like this building?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do.
So here's what I'm going to do. There's the man. Stand right over here. If we can make a good deal in the salary, she's going to probably have a job, okay? All right, good. Have a good time. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Good. Thank you. So nice.
And what we got to remember, when you're breaking ground, everybody from human resources to whatever department, the representatives are on stage. They're part of the ground breaking. So when he turned conveniently to whoever it was, he knew who worked wherever they worked, because everybody on the stage is part of that development, part of that new business that's about to become. So he knew exactly who to point it to. He knew exactly.
I didn't know he was at a groundbreaking ceremony. I thought he just invited to a regular news conference.
No, he's putting up a smaller structure.
I guess he bought this. I guess he bought this old post office building, and he's going to turn it into a hotel.
Yeah. See, but that's that spontaneous stuff I love about Donald Trump. Just spontaneous. You don't never know what you're gonna get from Big Dog. You really don't. But we might as well get into today's show. But before we go any further, y'all know what to do. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, ring the bell so you can get those instant notifications. Because man, it's getting ready to go down. I got Big Bruce in the building, my brother from another mother, lifelong Democrat, trying to bring his party back to relativity. And then we got Jen, the homeschooling mom. And then we got Randy, the genealogy Rhodes, which his roads now lead to Studio 6 News. So let's get it kicked off. This is what I want to say.
Hey, one quick side note. That lady was also a survivor of the September 11th attack on the buildings.
Yes, she was. You know,
That's good. I give props. I give props to that. Okay. I can respect that.
I'll take back my comments.
I don't respect him, but I respect what he did.
So what
it is, Randy? You know how I am. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I wouldn't want you to. I want the 100% true Bruce.
You're gonna still be my friend just because I don't follow Donald Trump and I don't care for Joe Biden. You know, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't like either.
Hey, as long as you like Biden, that's fine. You're still my Christmas card list.
Hey, Big Bruce.
If he could just figure out how to walk, then maybe I'd give him a little credit. But he can't walk for some reason. He looks like a mummy talking into the camera.
See, that's why I love Big Bruce, because Big Bruce ain't afraid to tell you, I hate Trump, but Papa ain't looking too good right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Bruce. Bruce, unfortunately, when you get to a certain age, when I was younger, right, and I'd be out at a shopping center like that, and I'm young, right, and I get behind these old farts, and it's like, come on, can you move a little bit faster? You're shuffling along, pick up your feet and move. Now I'm one of those old farts, so I know exactly why he's walking away. He's old.
Well, as we get into the first clip, I just want to say there's a reason you don't try to walk the fence. There's a reason you don't try to straddle the fence. I almost felt sorry for this lady that I'm about to show. And I almost came to bat and almost really had her defense. But when I seen the actual and factual, this is why you don't never think the grass is going to be greener on the other side. But we're going to get right into it. And then we will critique it and talk about it like we always do.
Let me deal with the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
I think our bosses owe you an apology for putting you in this situation because I don't know what to believe. She is now a paid contributor by NBC News. Well, I have no idea whether any answer she gave to you was because she didn't want to mess up her contract. She wants us to believe that she was speaking for the RNC when the RNC was paying for her. So she has credibility issues that she still has to deal with.
Yeah.
Is she speaking for herself or is she speaking on behalf of who's paying her? But once at the RNC, she did say that, hey, I'm speaking for the party. I get that. That's part of the job. So what about here? I will say this. I think your interview did a good job of exposing, I think, many of the contradictions. And look, there's a reason why there's a lot of journalists at NBC News uncomfortable with this because many of our professional dealings with the RNC over the last 6 years have been met with gaslighting, have been met with character assassination. So it is, that's where you begin here. And so when NBC made the decision to give her NBC News' credibility, you got to ask yourself, what does she bring NBC News? And when we make deals like this, and I've been at this company a long time, you're doing it for access to audience. Sometimes it's access to an individual. And we can have a journalistic ethics debate about that. And I'm willing to have that debate. And if you told me we were hiring her as a technical advisor to the Republican convention, I think that would be certainly defensible. If you told me we're talking to her, but let's see how she does in some interviews and maybe vet her with actual journalists inside the network, see if it's a two-way, what she can bring the network. So I do think, unfortunately, this interview is always going to be looked through the prism. Who is she speaking for? Right? I think you did everything.
And in case y'all don't know who he is speaking about, let me play this next clip and then we will definitely get into the conversation of it all. If my computer will work right for me this morning. It seems like it does. Oh, wrong one. Okay, play the same one over again. So, if you didn't hear what was going on, let me tell you what happened. NBC went out and hired RONNA McDaniel, who was the RNC spokesperson, chairperson. And she got herself in a little pickle because the number one thing she did wrong was going to play for the enemy. Why she would put her trust in the enemy, I don't know. It wasn't 24 hours after they hired RONNA McDaniel that the cast of MSNBC, NBC, CNN, they lost their freaking mind. What happens? They wind up firing RONNA McDaniel because they didn't really anticipate the truth sounding the way it did. So now NBC, and this is the thing, they didn't call her in the office to fire her. Do you know how she found out she got fired? The same way I found out she got fired, through the mainstream media. How disrespectful. So now they got to pay her $600,000 and buy her out of her 2-year contract. But you know, Rhonda, you wasn't supposed to never go over there in the first place. You see how they treated you? Like a wet doormat. You really thought they was gonna let you come over there and tell the truth? I don't even know what they was thinking. I tend to agree with Chuck Todd a little bit. They owe that lady an apology for putting her in that situation.
Yep.
What do you think, Big Blue?
And listen, man, I don't agree with everything, but the one thing I like about Chuck Todd, and yes, I do like the lady at times. I don't like how it was done. I don't like the one lady. But you know what? The thing you don't do, you don't hire somebody and then sit there and burn them on the internet like that. You don't do that. I don't give a damn, because I've watched MSNBC for years, and they were Republicans, not Democrats. Republicans. Not to say that they didn't have Democrats on there and stuff. I'm not saying that. You can't do that to people. This is what's wrong with this damn thing. Is people are this is what people on the outside. Do you guys realize there's people that want to come here? And I've seen it. And I hear people on the other side of the world, they want to come here. Philippines, Thailand, all these places. But you know what? When they see this, they go, oh, wait a minute. Are you kidding me? What the hell's going on over there in the U.S.? What the hell's going on with the White House? What's going on with these damn news people? Stay out of my business. That's how they think over there. But it's more polite. But when they see this, brother, it pisses them off. I don't want to come here now. I want to go to Europe. I don't want to go to U.S. People are not going to want to come here until different things start changing. And that goes with the media. They got to stop doing this crap to people, man. Ousting this lady. I don't even like this lady, but that was bull crap they did. That lady should be fined or fired herself for making a nuisance. I apologize. I'm tired of these news people, man. I'm sick of it because I respected MSNBC. Only some people. I have no respect for these people anymore now. When you're doing crap like that, I have no respect, and all you're doing is making yourself look even more worse as a network.
And people, this is coming from my brother, a Democrat. Okay, so I don't want y'all to think we are four conservatives on here bashing liberals. We're just straight up Americans, tired of what the hell we're seeing and what's going on. Because you know what? It's blatant. It's blatant right in front of our faces. They don't care whose feelings they hurt. They don't care. They could give a squat diddly about who they destroyed.
We might be having the Spanish people coming over here, coming through and stuff like it is, okay? But I'm going to tell you this as somebody that has friends, girlfriends that lives in Philippines. I'm telling you, when you ask those people, when they see this, they are ashamed to say that they're with somebody that's actually American. Now, that doesn't mean like my girlfriend, like, well, I hate you because of that. No. It's when they say, see this, and they're like, we don't even treat our people like this. I've had several people, bro, going in town when I was there years ago. Do people actually get treated like this in the U.S.? Yes, they do. Are people getting killed or the cops getting disrespected? Yeah, they are. So when you hear these people, they're like, I don't think I want to go there now. How do you feel about that as you guys as Republican conservative American people? How do you feel? Let's just put the party craps aside. How do you feel as an American in your own personal thing? People come here now because of this kind of behavior.
You're right. Jen, you got anything to say on that?
Yes, I do. What really bothers me. No, this is sick. It's deeper than that. We just see what's on the surface, and then we get involved with the feelings and how do they treat people. it doesn't matter. What he's doing is overwhelming the system and overwhelming everything because not elections, but the census. The census is coming up and they don't ask you where you're from. They just count. They're counting all these people to give seats to give people seats. It's like the Electoral College, which is a good thing, but it's being overrun by the enemy. So they're going to get seats. They're going to get seats in the House. They're going to get seats in the Senate. They're going to get of states, specifically California. Let's see, they're all coming through Texas. And there's even some coming through Canada. Wherever they land, all these are stocking, not the meats. And so we're going to be a nation of immigrants who became patriots who are going to be run by immigrants. It's terrible. No one's
Wow.
patriotic anymore. It's so
Say
sad.
that again.
It's
Say
sad
that
what's
again.
going on.
Say that again.
I said
Repeat.
we are a nation of immigrants who became patriots and love our nation, but now we're going to be run by immigrants who are not patriots. And that's sad
Wow.
because of the
Wow.
census. The census is they're just getting seats. That's all they're doing. So we will be run by immigrants.
Well, now that we've covered that topic, moving right along.
On a high note.
I want to say good afternoon to Katie Bennett. I want to say good
Yes.
afternoon to my little brother Down McClain, DJ, Ashtush, Kumar, Amy Lawson, our lady of fitness here in the Tennessee area. Amy, I got to get all your information from you so I can start putting out what you do and help some of these ladies out, get themselves in shape. If y'all seen Amy, y'all understand what I'm talking about. Amy Lawson, follow her on Facebook. She's got a bunch of workouts and she shows all of this stuff, building, doing powerlifting and all that stuff. It's not in my lane. I'm too weak. I'm a weakling. But moving right along, as we know by now, everybody has heard or has seen what has taken place with the Key Bridge in Maryland. I didn't know how much that waterway meant to America. I didn't know 45% of America's cars are imported and transported through that waterway. I didn't know China controls 90% of the cargo containers that go in and out of that area. I just found out 140,000 people instantaneously lost their job the moment that bridge went down, along with the lives that were lost. Rest in peace to the families. There are still a lot of unanswered questions about what happened. But I think I got a little more insight just listening to what this so-called president said. See, if you didn't have nothing to do with nothing, if I didn't break your window, if I wasn't out there playing stickball and homeboy hit the ball and the rock went through your window, if I didn't have nothing to do with it, I am not offering to pay for it. Have the person that did it pay for it. So when I heard our president come out, let me hear him in his own words. See, American people, y'all need to know where your tax dollars are really going.
Rescue operation is our top priority. Ship traffic in the Port of Baltimore has been suspended with no notice. We'll need to clear that channel before the ship traffic can resume. The Army Corps of Engineers is on the spot and going to help lead this effort to clear the channel. I've directed my team to move heaven and earth to reopen the port and rebuild it as soon as humanly possible. And we're going to work hand in hand with the support of Maryland to support Maryland, whatever they ask for. We're going to work with our partners in Congress to make sure the state gets the support it needs. My intention is that the federal government will pay for the entire cost of reconstructing that.
Okay, Randy, are we, the taxpayers, gonna pay for a brand new spanking bridge that's gonna cost billions and billions of dollars over 15 years possibly? Why should we be on the hook for a cargo ship that was being floated under the Singapore flag? Why should America be on the hook for an accident that was caused by another country? If we didn't have nothing to do with it.
First off, he said that the federal government is going to pay for the whole bill without talking to anybody else.
No Congress.
As we know before, when he opens his mouth and speaks, by the time he's walking out of that room, the White House is backstepping everything the guy said to start with. So he may say it. It sounds good, but by the time he gets back to his office, it's not going to be. Again, why should we? We need to find out, first off, what the hell happened. All right? Obviously, get the military in there and start clearing the waterway so ships can start going back and forth. It's going to be forever, for as far as cars and trucks, because as I was looking into it, that bridge accounted for a huge percentage of all trucks carrying hazardous materials. It was designed specifically to allow cargo of hazardous materials to safely traverse the river. So let's find out who the hell. Let's find out why that cargo ship lost power, got power back, lost power, got power back. Where is the captain of the ship? Was he in bed sleeping? Was he drunk? Was he on drugs? Let's get him tested. Let's get his crew on the bridge tested. To me, again, what we're seeing as far as video could obviously be made to look different than what the actual video was. But I saw one video where the one that you showed, but I saw another one where it shows a damn ship going head straight for the damn beam of the bridge. Now, like you said, when he lost power, he said that the tide, the motion of that ship could have just kept going in that direction. I mean, it ain't like a train where you can stop it on a dime, right? It takes time and power to move that ship to go right towards the damn beam. So was it done on purpose? Okay.
Well, I talked to an engineer last night because everybody was making haste because, see, they always got to do the process of elimination. So they tried to say that there was engine failure when the black smoke started coming out of the chimney. So the engineer described to me the reason the black smoke started coming out of the chimney, because when you make such a drastic hard turn like that, and if you notice, the smoke comes out and then the turn starts. And like you said, if it lost power, it would have continued to drift past the pylon. But not only did it make a turn, somehow it managed to accelerate enough speed back in the other direction towards the pylon to take it out. See, people aren't thinking about these little details that really, because if it lost power, to me, it's just going to keep floating. Just let it float past the pylons. Okay, you regain power, but you regain power and go straight towards the pylon. And if you look at the still frame, that was nearly a direct hit in the center of that cargo ship.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll just say I don't personally think it's anything terroristic. That's just what I believe. I believe, now let me ask it, that ship came from Singapore, right?
No, it was a Singapore made. It was a Singapore made.
Oh, it was a Singapore made. Okay. So, but I guess my question is, what they say Okay, the people that were on the news that were doing the press conference, the guy said it was 96 hours they're supposed to get. Okay, so if you know 96 hours it's going to take, okay, to get from one port to the into the U.S. the city of Baltimore. Okay, like I don't know if that bridge goes up like here where I'm at in Portland. When they're told that bridge goes up, so ships like that can get in. But personally, my opinion, I think somebody, and I'm going to have to get more information. I believe that it was somebody coming in. I think miscommunication, and now look, people are dead. So that bothers me, Again, it bothers me when I keep seeing this stuff, And it wasn't that long ago. What happened? What happened, bro? In another country, just happened. I mean,
Big Bruce. They said it wasn't a drawbridge.
It wasn't a
They
drawbridge.
They said it wasn't a drawbridge. That's why they made it high enough for the vessels to be able to go under it. They said this has never happened before. Yeah, this has never happened before. And they actually have sensor buoys located in the surrounding areas in the waters to prevent things such as this. So once I'm hearing this, and this is just my personal opinion, that cargo ship looked like it was navigated into the pylon. I mean,
yeah,
all of that, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. I mean, everything is not a coincidence. Even if they lost power and somebody says they dropped the anchor, okay, they dropped the anchor. That's going to make the vessel do sort of a turn, but not that hard and not that fast. It's going to drift turn. It's going to go with the current, and the anchor is going to keep it stable, and it's going to turn with it. This thing had a thrust to it. You can see it move with a thrust. And then it took back off in the directions of the pylon.
Well, I'm still going to have to get some more information. Obviously,
watch
I'm
my
not
video.
Be
I must have showed. Hey, watch yesterday's show. I must have showed it about 50 times.
Okay, I can do that. And I've seen it again. Like there's a lot of communication, bro. There, and I know we all know here that if something's coming, especially a cargo ship. Okay, look how big those damn things are. Right, those are supply ships for a reason. Okay, and there's a reason why they're so big, because they can carry a lot of stuff. But I've got to have more info before I sit here and say, oh, well, it's this. Because you know what I heard yesterday? I hear nothing but a bunch of crap from people out of their mouth. Obviously, I'm not going to say anything to them because I'm just not going to engage with that. I'm not here to fight with people. I want to get people's opinions. But when you immediately come out because something happens, you're going to say it's a terrorist attack. What if you're wrong?
You know what? That's a double-edged sword, because it wasn't 20 minutes before the FBI and Joe Biden came out there and said, this is not related to a terrorist attack. Can we do an investigation? See, that's what throws my red flags up. When they try to detour us in another direction fast.
You got no choice but to have a damn, you got to. That's anything.
But they know, I know we do. With us of common sense know that. But when you're trying to deflect and you're trying to push a crowd in another direction, the first thing you do is come out and make bold statements. Just like they made.
I want to know one thing, man. This is been on my mind, man, for a while. I know I don't come all the time, but how come I can't get more people like this lady here, yourself, bro, and Randy, other people that just because we're not we don't agree on everything, and nobody agrees on anything. That's life. We're not going to ever agree 100% on everything. Like, I just wish people would learn to communicate. How many times I said this on your thing? Communicate and talk with each other, and don't better. Or if their opinion is something that, whatever, if their opinion is different than yours, don't judge them and cause a ruckus. And this has been on my mind, man, for months, bro. And you know, I love coming here. You know that, because I can speak my mind. I don't get judged, and which I wouldn't care if I was, because that's just how I am. I don't care.
That's right.
I just wish I could find. I wish I could find more people that are just actually like yourselves that want to actually have America and be able to talk about it. And if we disagree, we can be respectful about it, and then we'll figure something out.
Well, Big Bruce, you know, I've always told you, bro, me and you are the same, but we're not the same. I'm a lifelong Democrat. Once I seen the shit pop off like it's popping off, I broke camp. I left. I can't deal with that shit. You, on the other hand, you're more of a forgiving person. You're more of a let's get this shit under control person. See, I can't stand a liar. Can't stand a thief. I'll do it to my own kids. These people are evil. They're evil. Everybody
there are people
sees
out there that are. You're right. There's people that are evil.
The world sees what's going on. Now, I'll tell you right now, if there just so happens to come along another Democrat that falls in lines with the values of America and the morality of America, and we have a Republican that's all stupid and shit, I'm back to being a Democrat voting wise, because it's not about Democrat or Republican for me. It's about who's got the best interest of this nation at their true heart. Now, if that just happens to come along with the label, so be it. So be it. What do you say, Jen?
Well, the first incident we saw like this, that we know of, is what sparked the Revolutionary War, 1776. It was the coercive acts of the British, and the very first thing they did was block the harbor. They cut off supplies. They messed with the supply chain, and they called it the Harbor Act. It wasn't the Boston Tea Party that still came, but the first thing they did was they cut off supplies. And that's exactly what happened here. The second weirdness about this is that those the bridges have the big stanchions. It shouldn't collapse by getting hit by a boat. It's almost comparable to the Twin Towers. Kaylee McEnany talked about this on her show the other day. She said they have these big stanchions. It almost looks like bell bottoms, to give you a visual, but they're called dolphins. And what these things do is it's kind of like the buoy thing. Like a boat will bump into it and it'll like get turned. It just happened. It's not meant to be taken down, which makes me think what else was involved. But the weirdest thing about all of it is that we were preconditioned by a show they put on Netflix, that Leave the World Behind. It starts out, the very first thing is a beached cargo ship called the White Lion, which stands, I don't know what it stands for. It doesn't mean like all of humanity. I don't know what it means, but it starts with that. So we're all kind of programmed like, oh, of course, cargo ships do these things. No, they don't. This is so stupid. But that's all I have to say. Not going off on a rabbit trail, but it was a very weird occurrence.
Yeah, it was. It was. Oh gosh, I clicked on the Randy's genealogy rows things, and okay, here I am back there. Randy, I got a question for you. What is the in your opinion, what is the global effect? What is the national effect with something like this taking place, economic wise, however you see it?
Well, I'm looking at the the image of the cargo ship after it hit the bridge. Okay.
Right.
And other than part of the bridge leaning on the front part of the ship, there's absolutely no damage to this cargo ship. I mean, the cargo stayed in place. So kudos to the dock workers for putting those containers on the ship. They didn't move. None of it fell into the water. Okay. As far as the economic effect, let me go back to something that Bruce said earlier about the investigation. I'm sorry, I don't trust the FBI. I don't trust this administration to tell us the truth. Okay, that's just me. The FBI has proven itself, or at least the leaders and those who follow, their leaders lean against Trump. I don't trust the FBI to find its way out of a grocery bag. I don't trust them to do this investigation properly. Okay, I don't trust anyone in the administration to do an investigation that's going to come out and say what actually happened. They're going, if it turns out the terrorists are back, they're going to be over it.
Okay, Randy, so I understand where you're coming from. I understand everybody that says that they don't trust this and that. Okay, but I think majority of us are up in our ages that we know that the government is not there to give you a handout. The government's not there to do this and this and this. But when the government is there for is to pass laws that Americans, that we all as Americans, that need to be passed, that we need to follow our laws. I get it. You don't like that. That's fine. There's a lot of things I don't like about things, but the only way we can do is work together and try to figure out a common ground to fix it, where people can come back and say, Randy can come and say, hey, you know what? I can trust these guys now, but I don't trust them now. I'm not going to trust them until otherwise. Things need to change. We all know that, but Bruce, things ain't going to change overnight.
But Bruce, you got to understand, this is a man that ran on transparency. We have yet, in the 3 years that he's been president, seen any type of transparency. So why should we continue to wait for transparency? For him to come out and say, we're not leaving until the job is done, is the same thing as him saying Kamala Harris is going to the border and going to get to the root cause. It's not gonna happen, bro.
Right.
They've been lying to us and lying to us and lying to us. So why should we, the Americans with common sense, that including you, continue to give them a pass and hope and pray that one day they decide they want to be transparent with America? The only time transparency comes is 2 years after the fact, bro, when we find out the actual and factual of what really happened. But Americans have now got on to the clue to where, you know what? We can't trust them. We're not waiting no more.
Well, I'm just going to put it like this. Okay, we can agree to disagree.
That's why I love you, bro.
I don't trust everything. All right, I learned that a long time ago as a kid. All right, it's what it is. Okay, but when you have people that are getting put in office that in Congress and everything, and in the Senate, when stuff is just sitting there, people aren't doing their jobs, and it's us that are paying their taxes. Okay, that's what bothers me. Okay, when is the Democrat and the Republican people gonna figure out you got to work? Okay, not sitting here complaining and bitching and moaning about every agency or blaming this person for that because he did that. Okay, and that goes to the Democrats too. I get tired of hearing these idiots say the same stuff, blaming other people, blaming this, blaming that. All right, but the Republicans themselves do not want to work. All right, and that's been factual for quite a while. And there's a whole bunch of Democrats that don't want to work, but they want to sit up there in our house and they want to sit there and complain about everything. All right, so like I've said for the last couple of years, if you don't like,
but Bruce,
get them out of there.
You got to understand one thing. When you say Republicans don't want to work, and you say Democrats don't want to work.
They don't want to work.
In
They're
any
not
vote,
doing
in any vote, it's only the rhinos. It's the minority in the Republican Party.
Nobody's doing
It's only a
anything, and I'm
handful.
going to stick with that. So that's my personal opinion, and that goes for both sides. Okay, I've seen way too much time on their hands where they get to go off on vacation. Do we get to do that? I don't.
No,
I don't. I don't get to go everything for months upon months. Nope, I don't. I wish I could, but I can't.
But you know why? I won't trust this administration for this reason right here. This is why I won't trust this administration.
About 1:30, container ship struck the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which I've been over many, many times, commuting from the state of Delaware.
I'll just leave it at that.
I know why.
There is no damn train. There is no train. So when I hear a man come up to the microphone again and blatantly lie just to satisfy himself, they don't know nothing but to. I'm sorry, Bruce, but I don't like some of the shit that Trump says. But damn it, he has never come out and really tried to do the shit that these people are doing. That's why he's polling the way he is in all the polls, because there comes a point, and this is my opinion, there comes a point we have to stop demonizing Trump to justify the crookedness that the Democrats are doing. Well, Democrats are doing this, but no.
You know the weird thing. You know the weird thing that gets me is Donald Trump. Even before this, okay, Donald Trump and Biden were friends, and when obviously this thing happened, they were friends, because he had said, yeah, I'd talked to him a bunch. And I don't know if you remember that when he was talking about him. He never had nothing bad to say up until all this would happen.
Democrat. Donald Trump hung out with Democrats.
Yes, I know that.
Hillary Clinton, he funded both of Jesse Jackson's presidential runs. He hung out with Hillary Clinton. But when he went to run for president, that's
thank
what
you for telling me that, man. I didn't know. Hey, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Calm down, brother. It's okay.
I got 500 different pictures with Donald Trump and his Democratic friends.
Man, you just taught me something. I didn't know nothing about this. Holy moly. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
When Donald Trump got tired of seeing America go down the way it went, he told Hillary, hey, I'm sorry, but this is where I got to draw the line. And Hillary said, good luck. And when he won, that's when you seen the attitude come out, and when they all hate him. I tell people all the time, Donald Trump is such the biggest crook. How the hell does he get to build a skyline in New York City? How the hell does he get golf courses all over the place? How the hell, for a man that's supposed to be so evil, his name is all over everything? Do that not make people stop and think? Do the Ku Klux Klan have KKK on everything around the world? Does anybody of any drastic, extreme? No, it doesn't happen. They don't give stuff like that to bad people. So my thing is, I'm glad America's waking up. That's all I ever wanted to see, was brown people, black people, Latino people, and white people finally decide to say enough is.
Well, and listen, I remember people saying that about Trump being, coming in as a Democrat. I just listen. I don't catch up on every single thing, but I get it. Okay, I understand what you're saying, and I agree that it's people when everything changes from a Republican then back to a Democrat. and stuff, and we see the wheels go good for a while, and then we've seen the wheels in the train, it derailed. Okay, I get it, bro. I'm not here defending anything that anybody's doing. All I'm asking is we put these people in. Let's do some work. Let's stop blaming everybody. Listen, if I can sit on a panel with conservatives, okay, my brother here, my friend, all right, and he's gonna teach me stuff, and I'm gonna learn from Randy. I'm gonna learn from this nice lady here. You know, I appreciate that. I'm tired because people always blame. What do we hear on the news every day? Look what just happened. You just showed a clip. Look what just happened. What did the news do? What did the media do? They just tore up that lady. They made that lady look worse than it is. Who cares what she believes?
And Bruce, I understand what you're saying, but if you go back and listen to this show and other shows we've done, you're the type of man that preaches unity, wants unity. I see it, I feel it in you. But at the same time, when you point out all the bullshit that's being done and all the bad shit that's being done, you really only address one side. But you say we all need to get along at the end of it. And I'm glad you do that. You might not realize you do it. There's not much.
Well, you know what? You're right.
Bad that you say about the
Republic. You're right. I did. You caught on.
There's not much because there's not much bad that you can say about the Republicans other than we all need to work together. They're bad.
We all need to work together. Yes, we all need to work together. And you know what? I'm not just pushing it because I'm a Democrat. But when I say the blame, like it's not. I'm not. It's everybody. But if we can figure a way to have common ground and work where conservative people are happy and the Democrats and these liberals are happy, fine. All right. Because majority of the conservative people that I've met in my life, they were liberals or they were Democrat. Okay. They just got tired, just like my brother here. He got tired of it, and that's that. That's his business, and I accept that and I respect that.
But Bruce, we're fighting a different fight because I'm fighting the fight of evilness. You're fighting the fight to unite the company. I mean, to unite. Yeah, this is a company. You're fighting the fight to unite the country. I'm fighting the fight to get rid of shit like this.
Trump knows he's an illegitimate president.
The president or elect, although legally elected, is not legitimate.
The only way they could win the election was to stop the voting in Florida.
When you stole the election, you came back here and said, get over it. No, we're not going to get over it.
They turned the Department of Civil Rights and the Justice Department into the voter suppression division.
Without voter suppression, Stacey Abrams would be the governor of Georgia.
The election was not fair. The process was not fair.
If Stacey Abrams doesn't win in Georgia, they stole it. It's clear. It's clear.
Man, you know I don't like none of those people, man.
But it's not about you liking them. It's about the hypocrisy.
They be saying
how many people, how many of them denied the election, said the election was rigged, said Donald Trump wasn't the legitimate president. Now, if we say that, if we say there was something wrong, we go to jail. We FBI showing up at our house. That's the fight I'm fighting. See, you're not fighting that fight, Big Bruce. Totally different fight, bro. That's the fight I'm fighting right there. The evilness and the lying and the double standard that the Democrats have put on the Republican Party. That's what I'm fighting. I'm hoping we can get to the fight that you're fighting. But until we get rid of these evil people, we'll never get to your fight of getting this country back together again. We got to get rid of the swords and all this evilness. That's what we got to get rid of. How dare them say we can't say that the 2020 election was stolen? And these people, right after Trump won, that's all they was crying. That's what I'm fighting for. bullshit like that goes on everywhere with this Democratic Party. That's right, Julius, double standards. And you're right too, Fury. All crooked. They all are. And they all hypocrites. They all hypocrites. It's almost like who pays the best? You know, I'm gonna do a show later on, but it's not gonna be on tonight's show. We do have a great show coming up for tonight. You don't want to miss that, especially what's going on with this P. Diddy and sex trafficking. That kind of ties into the show we got tonight. It's going to be a late one, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, because the ladies that are going to be on the air are on the West Coast, and they have kids and they work. And it will be hosted by no one other than your lovely friend, Jen, the homeschooling mom. So tune in tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Give you a brief description. The ladies we have on have journeyed basically to hell and back. They've been part of the underground industry. They've been involved in the industry. They will bring us firsthand experiences on what it's like in the sex trafficking industry and the underground industry. I'll just leave it at underground industry.
So who's doing that show? You're doing that show?
I am.
Yeah, I'll be doing that show,
You
and
are?
Jen
Can you
will
drop
be
your
hosting
link?
that show.
Can you drop your link in the chat? Or drop it in the private chat? One of the two.
Yeah, no, we'll be on here tonight at 10.
Oh, you're gonna be on here on 10. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, we're gonna be here tonight at 10 o'clock. So share it out.
You know, I have a friend of mine. I got some friends out there in California. In what is it, the San Fernando, the what is it? I mean, they go all over, and you know, they stumbled upon. I'm gonna have to see if I can find his YouTube channel. He had helped people in cases with like out searching and stuff, doing stuff, helping families. In Cal City, two little toddlers were killed, and obviously the parents both were found guilty and are going to rot away. But he stumbled upon sex trafficking in California. He was out, him and his friends were out and about, and he had seen a bunch of grown Mexicans, whites that had a bunch of little kids and babies and other stuff. I can't even get into the other stuff. It's just gross. Body parts. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. And what I seen and he stumbled upon. I've got to find his thing, man, because I would love if I could get a hold of him. I would love him on this show and talk with you.
That'd be awesome.
He helps people out in California. Him and you know, and a friend of his, and they go out and about. It was him that ended up getting police to arrest these scumbags. You know, they were stuck.
All right.
It's sick.
Link them in. I would definitely take the opportunity to correspond with them and get them on here. That'd be awesome. Randy, we're going to pass this to you after we show this clip, because I know you will definitely have something to say, and you're probably chomping at the bite. This is just the tip of the iceberg on this one.
News for Boeing. The aviation giant, which used to be one of America's crown jewels, facing a massive shakeup. CEO Dave Calhoun announcing he'll be stepping down as the company faces growing safety concerns surrounding their fleet of planes, as well as an ongoing whistleblower investigation. The announcement coming weeks after whistleblower John Barnett was found dead of an apparent suicide, which has been shrouded in mystery. Barnett was a retired 30-year quality manager who had been speaking out about the company cutting corners over the last 2 decades and was in the middle of an ongoing deposition against Boeing.
Used to be when you raise your hand and say, we got a problem here, they would say, yeah, you're right, we're going to fix it. After the merger with McDonnell Douglas and the Airbus coming on, Boeing quit listening to their employees. So every time I'd raise my hand and say, hey, we got a problem here, they would attack the messenger and ignore the message.
Boeing allegedly pulled out all the stops and tried to silence their employees from raising concerns. Barnett's lawsuit claims that after he spoke up to management, the company's response was to harass, humiliate, and make an example of them to dissuade others from pointing out their safety shortcomings. The suit goes so far as to say that his former manager recruited another supervisor to spy on him. But now, we may never know what was going on behind closed doors, because Barnett mysteriously died earlier this month while in the middle of a court battle against Boeing. He was found dead in his truck in the parking lot of the hotel that he'd been staying at for the deposition, with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound and a mysterious paper believed to be a note on the passenger seat. A close friend speaking out and saying Barnett told her he had no plans of killing himself.
He said, but if anything happens to me, it's not suicide. You know, I know that he did not commit suicide. There's no way. He loved life too much. He loved his family too much. He loved his brothers too much to put them through what they're going through right now.
Boeing telling Primetime in a statement, quote, "We are saddened by Mr. Barnett's passing."
Yes.
Sure you are. Sure you are. You only saved yourself, what, $250 million in a lawsuit? You know, before I take it to you, Randy, that did not sound or look like a man that would just wake up one day, and this is just my opinion, and would just say, you know what? I think I want to take my life today. After everything I've done, everything, you know, I'm about to get this money. I've already given a deposition. Now I'm about to go testify and bring it to big people. And then he decides he just wants to put one in his head. Why the sudden change of heart, Randy?
Well, I mean, it's obviously it wasn't suicide. It was someone being paid to make it look like suicide. But I thought you're going a different direction with an airplane story. Let me backtrack a little bit about the airplanes. You know, you have Governor Abbott trying to protect our nation when the federal government should be doing that by building his wall on the ground level to prevent them crossing over. But our asshole Democrat-controlled administration is flying the suckers over the damn barriers to land inside our United States. And from there, they're being placed on white buses, and this is all factual. The white buses are waiting for them at the terminal. So as soon as those planes land, they get taken to a white bus, and they get distributed throughout the country to do whatever they'll be doing. Now, as far as, you know, I mean, you're seeing more and more where these planes are losing tires as they're taking off. Doors are flying off. Panels are being blown off the planes during flight.
Wheels.
You know, God, I'd be afraid to flush a toilet if I was, you know, sitting on one. It boils down to is, you know, the you know, just like any business, you have your expenses, but you know, when do you stop cutting the expenses at the expense of, you know, safety? And not only that, our government is supposed to have a law in the book that protects whistleblowers. So why aren't the whistleblowers being given protection if they're blowing the whistle on corruption and things like this? Oh, that's because you're talking about, you know, I'm sure, you know, those planes being built in a Democrat-controlled state, and anything reflects on those manufacturers going to reflect on the government, on these Congress people and Senate people who are getting the money to write those companies to build those planes. Not only are they building the commercial, but the price they're building military planes. Okay, look at the military planes and helicopters that are crashing. You know, are they being built by the same company? We live in a world, in a country right now where they're trying to cut costs at any expense. And unfortunately, hell, it's not safe to drive across a bridge, let alone fly a plane.
American people ain't gonna want to go nowhere. They scared to go in the subways because they might get pushed onto the tracks. They scared to fly on planes because they might go out of a door or a window or out of a commode, like you said, through the toilet. Hey, they afraid to go over bridges now. It's like what they're putting Americans in the state of immobilization to where they ain't gonna want to do nothing but stay in their house.
What do you want? What do you really want, man? Do you want to go back in time or something and live in like a big cabin house? I think that would be something maybe Randy might like. Nice, comfortable cabin where it snows in the wintertime. You got your heater. You got all your stoves. You got your
wood,
fireplace.
lots of wood. Yeah.
Lots of wood, right? Is that what you want? That these people keep complaining about? You want to go back in time and you want to have your guns and because me, I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing about it. Why? Why should I? Why should I say anything? Because I don't think that if people want to live a different way of life, if that's how they feel like they want to go, if they feel that the hunting, the fishing, and that's where they feel like doing, we all did it as kids. I know I did. My dad used to take me all the time. What do? You teach your kids fishing. They need to learn good stuff in school. But what happened to those? If that's what people want to do, because that's a lot of my friends that are Republican. That's what they want. They want to go back to that kind of time of America.
Well, I tell you, Big Bruce, being that you mentioned that, I live down here in Tennessee, and I can literally, my right hand to God, I can literally sit on my porch on occasions, and there'll be 2-3 little boys about the age of 10 to 15, and they'll have their fishing poles wrapped over their shoulder, and they'll have they sacks, whatever, the fishing rod gear, tackle box, they'll have that.
That's cute.
And I start crying. It reminds me of them old movies back in Mayberry and shit like that. But you know what? That's just the type of place I live in. And they'll go stand right over there off the bridge and cast their little rods in this little creek we got over here. And they'll stand out there all day. And then you'll see a bunch of kids on the next bridge.
Don't forget your wife, if you want to do that, is just going to be in your house cleaning up, and that's what I hear. Because see, I love that style. That's just me. That's coming from Bruce, because I like that, because I have that. You have that, and I think people, if they had that, and I'm talking my side, if they had the nice little fishing things, the things that you're just talking about, the nice fires, when it snows, you can have a cup of coffee or whatever your thing is. And I think maybe people should think a little bit and put a little bit of that happiness in their lives and remember what we used to do.
Well, it's hard. See, I can go out my house at 11 o'clock at night and walk through town and walk past 80-year-old couples holding hands, walking their little Chihuahua or their poodle or that new one they got out that looked like a poodle but is 7 foot tall.
A Labradoodle.
A Labradoodle, yeah. Those. And you know what? They ain't got a care in the world. I can go out and watch girls and women jog up and down the street with headphones in both ears and run. They'll run right by you and won't even look back and just keep going. There are places you're afraid to come out your crib, your apartment. You're afraid to walk to the grocery store. You're afraid to go down to the convenience store because you don't know if you're going to make it home. So, I mean, America is starting to really be divided. I always told myself, why the hell y'all putting up all these houses and all this property out here? They must got about 5 cul-de-sacs with about 100 houses in all of them. And the condominium neighborhoods they're putting up, there's about 20 of them things. People are leaving them cities. So soon it's going to be the crazy people that want to stay in these crazy places, or it's going to be the people that want to be sane and have security and be able to, live a nice, peaceful way of life and out them big cities. And them big cities are going to turn into their own third world countries. Their own third world country. New York City is about to crumble.
Randy, as the elder of the group here, what are your thoughts?
Hey,
hey, you're not old, pops. Remember?
Oh,
remember, you're my dad.
Okay. So, what was your question?
Like when he was talking about, like we were talking about how they used to like do things. Because I heard somebody yesterday bring up about going back into like times where like you were going fishing, fishing, stuff like
Bruce,
that.
Bruce, I live in Lancaster County, okay, and Pennsylvania, and Lancaster County is primarily Quakers, Dunkards, Amish, Mennonite, okay, and farming community, okay. And they all still live the way their family did when they first arrived here in the New World. Okay. Horse and buggy, no electricity. They use oil lamps for lights. No telephones, no TVs, no radios. And they're millionaires. Why? Because they don't pay taxes, because they're not getting any government assistance. They're not getting any kind of Medicare, not getting any kind of public utilities like water, sewer, trash. They do it all themselves. If someone in their community, not just family, but someone in the community gets sick and goes into the hospital, they don't have health insurance. It's against their religion. What they do have are people donating money into a fund that they pull from to pay for those medical bills. Someone's barn burns down, okay, because we know that storing hay is very dangerous, especially in a drier summer time. It's combustible. That barn burns down, Bruce. The community is there the same damn day. The women have all this food made, waiting for the men. The men are there building that barn, and by the end of that day, that barn is back up under roof, and in 2 or 3 days is fully operational. Because they are community. They help each other. If that was an England, what they refer to as being we're English, if that was my barn that burnt down, I'd have to wait for an insurance company to come out and do their estimate. Okay, so why did the barn burn down? Did they go because blah blah blah? Okay, well, this is what it's worth. Okay, and you're gonna try and find someone to rebuild it. It would take a year to get back to where you were. They grow their own food, and with excess they sell. What do we do? The Democrat-controlled freaking administration says we can't have excess food. Why? Because it lowers the price of the groceries. Oh, we can't have lower prices.
Stop talking to your son that way.
I don't care. He has to learn sooner or later. So what they do? These people tell all the farmers to plow over their harvest because they made too much. They tell the dairy farmers to dump their milk into the sewer because they made too much. They have the eggs are being destroyed. The chickens are being cooked because they produce too much. What is wrong with that? What is extra lowers the price of our groceries, and beyond that, give it to the people in other countries who are starving and would love to have some corn or some chicken or some eggs.
That's right. I agree with everything you're saying, man.
And if I could, dude, I'd be out there on the farm. My dad blew it. When my dad married my mom, her dad was a farmer. And he said, I have 20 acres of land to give to you on the day that you're married, as long as you farm it. Oh, no. I can't farm.
No, the hell
that's too much work.
They just better keep a super Walmart where I live. That's all I know about because I ain't
Yeah,
farming a damn thing.
And look at the cities. Look at the cities.
What do you need a supermarket for when you got cows, man? You can slaughter.
I mean, you can't live in a city safe anymore.
I'm not
walking down the
no
sidewalk. I get my head conked out. You got that damn knockout game going on. You got the people with the baseball bats knocking out old folks. Cities aren't safe. Suburbs getting worse because the bad guys go down to the suburbs.
You're spot on, Randy, because I've got a couple of friends, just like Randy was saying, okay, over in the Philippines. They've got a farm. They call them provinces, but they're a farm. And when things go down, they help. They come together. We don't do that here. Well, I should say we don't do it in certain parts of the world here.
Man,
because there are places that do, but not here as much. Not where I'm
I come
at.
home and there be vegetables tied on my screen door in those plastic bags that come from the fresh squash, fresh zucchini, big old tomatoes, cantaloupe, greens, cabbage. I love my neighbors. The only thing I tell them, hey, I can't do your eggs. Don't bring no more of them nasty eggs to my crib. The texture. But moving right along, because we can really land this plane. Got a couple of more clips we're going to show. But
are we going to survive it? Are we going to survive?
Oh yeah, we're going to survive it.
Okay.
But I love it when I say something months ahead, because I know what I know, and it turns out to come to fruition because the shit that they doing is just so stupid. So I love when they are defeated. And this we're just gonna do Boss James right here because yeah. Where you at now? But this you wasn't saying this before.
America is an uncharted territory.
Hey, that's my girlfriend, man.
Oh no.
At any point in our history since the Civil War. And at the eye of the storm is Donald Trump, ripping families apart, threatening women's most basic rights, and running for Attorney General because I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president.
What?
Fundamental rights.
Oh my God! Oh!
To efforts to deport.
How dare you talk about Joe Biden like
transgender
that?
students the ability to choose
We
whatever
get in
bathroom
trouble.
they want, rolling back regulations to protect our planet, colluding with foreign powers, putting profits over people, dividing us in ways we haven't seen in generations, corruption in Albany, environmental hazards in Buffalo, and a criminal justice system, unfortunately, which has criminalized too many Black and brown people.
Oh
We
my
can do
God.
better than this. We need to reform a criminal justice system. We need to end cash bail. We need more alternatives to incarceration.
That's right. Throw more criminals on the
Trial
street.
by ambush, which means we have to reform
Oh my
our
God.
discovery
Cash
laws in
bail?
the state of New York. We
You
should not
wanna take
criminalize
Americans'
mental
rights?
illness of poverty.
Oh.
And we also need to reform a grand jury system which is cloaked in secrecy. It's important that we all understand. At one point in the history of this country, they went after several immigrants.
Blah 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 blah. I show that right there just to say this. It's like Mike Tyson said. They all stepped into the ring with a plan. Until they get K to hello. Letitia James. Boss Hog James.
Wow.
The second half of the Ratchet Twins. Where are you now? Where are you now? Your Buffalo ass is on the sidelines. You have been dismissed. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Well, maybe because you went into this thing worth 100,000 and now you're worth 15 million. Maybe it was worth it for that, but was it worth it? How you people just go and commit political suicide? For what? For the man? For the man. At the end of the day, the man ain't got your back. Fannie, hood chick Fannie Willis, where you at? Sidelined. The man ain't got your back. Alan Bragg, you next. Because the man ain't got your back. Once y'all are exposed for who y'all are, they are throwing y'all asses under the bus. You will never see Letitia James again. You will never see Hood Chick Willis again. They are done.
So what?
And they will just, they'll quietly,
Where are they going to go?
Oh no, they're going to spend the money they made because the Democrat machine will never.
Well, we like to take our money and we're powerful people. You can't blame us.
They about to pull a P. Diddy and disappear. They about to pull a P. Diddy and disappear.
What did you learn from Donald Trump?
We learned from Donald Trump how to commit crimes and take all that money, all the hot babes. We already knew that in the Democrat Party how to do that.
What crimes has, other than the pretty women, what crimes has Trump done that he's been convicted of?
No, check it though.
Okay.
How come they're the only ones losing their jobs?
I'm just going to point this out, bro. Please let me point this out. Okay. Yeah, I told you last time. Okay, Randy was here. You were here. I told you last time. Remember when the illegals had got out and hurt those cops? You're the one that played the video.
Right.
Do you remember what I said? I have no respect for that guy. What's his name? The DA? You just said his name? Albert Bragg. And remember what I said? I always give people a chance. I always got to get all the information before I decide and think how I'm going to, decide something. I'm not going to judge it at first. It's like the bridge. Okay? I've got no respect for him for that. Okay? When they let those guys go. That you can't do that.
Hey, Big Bruce, let me ask you a question.
He needs to be fired.
Let me ask you a question, Big Bruce. It's you and a roommate, and y'all the only two live in the crib. But every day, something of yours seem to come up missing. How much of your shit got to come up missing before you look at your roommate and say, "Yo, dog, what is it? The diamond watch that got to come up missing, and then the ring, and then when with me." Soon as I wake up and I can't find my watch, I want to know where the fuck my watch is, and there's only two of us in here. I ain't got time to say, okay, well, maybe I misplaced the watch. Well, maybe I misplaced the ring.
You can't, and I'm saying this because this is how I felt, okay? And you got to understand, all right, and we can agree to disagree, but here's the thing. I gave the guy a chance. And when the illegals beat those cops up and were let out without nothing, let go. No money to put down for bail, just let go. Like nothing happened.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, Bruce, and don't leave. Don't leave, because this one might ruffle your feathers. So don't go nowhere.
Oh no.
What is it? Name one illegal thing Trump did.
What did he do? What did he do illegal? Well, for one, he had the boxes. Again, allegedly, he hasn't been.
The box with all the documents in it.
What?
You're talking about the documents with
documents.
He had documents as well as Joe Biden had documents.
Oh no! Well, let me stop. No. He listen, and let me finish. He was the only one that was president, and he falls under the Presidential Records Act.
Doesn't
he was in litigation? No, listen. He was in litigation with the place where they keep it. He was in litigation. He had all right to have classified documents. You have to understand. Look up the Presidential Records Act. Joe Biden was never president.
Yeah,
I
know that act, but that is when you are a president.
He was president. He was president.
That doesn't apply to you.
Yes, it does. That's why Joe Biden said he could take.
Citizen.
No, that's why Joe Biden said he could take home memoirs and shit like that and everything. No,
we can go on. We're not going to agree, and we're not going to. I mean, it's pointless. The fact of the matter is, he had stuff he shouldn't have.
No, you got to deal with the facts. He was allowed under the presidential. Now, if the Presidential Records Act never existed, oh, we could sit here and do this. Unfortunately, the Presidential Record Act is legitimate. It does exist. A president is allowed to take whatever he wants with him. Now, he was in litigation with the memoir people, which means the memoir people were saying, well, we want this. And he was like, well, I don't think you should have that. They would not once did it ever get to the point where he was defiant with them. And they said, listen, you give it back or we're coming after you. Never got to that point. They was even like, well, damn, can he keep it? That's what negotiation is, because they wasn't even sure, because they knew he was allowed to have it, but they didn't know under what stipulations he could keep them. Big difference. Biden doesn't fall under that. Clinton didn't fall under that.
I have two comments I want to make, and I got to bounce. The problem with this, Bruce, is that the Democrats came out when they realized that President Trump had these boxes at Mar-a-Lago. Now, they were all in proper storage, secure storage. They had the Secret Service there, plus his own private guard, plus the hotel guards. So they were more than well protected.
And they told him to
But
put
what happened was, you know, they came out and said, you know, everything's fine, just add a couple more locks here, move a couple locks there, and they did. But then the Democrats thought, well, we can get him for having all these documents, not realizing that their own man took documents home when he was a senator, which was illegal. And even as president, his boxes were inside a garage. It was inside of a building that was controlled by the Chinese, that had free access by the Chinese. And he didn't keep track of who was coming and going. So they didn't realize at the time that, hey, our guy has this. You know, maybe if they did, they probably never would have gone after him for that. But here's my last point, and I got to go. The most recent things that have been happening in the news is this, and that is the illegals walking into a home that has not shown someone living in it for a couple of days. So a lot of folks who have the money to do it will have their primary home, they'll have their summer home, they'll have their winter home, or they go on vacation or something like that. These illegals in Democrat-controlled states have realized that if you walk into that house while they're gone and live there for more than 2 or 3 days, you can claim that house as being yours.
Hey, Randy, let me show the poster boy real quick.
Yeah, him.
He is now being sorted by the government. He's on the run.
Que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla.
That was the wrong clip. But yeah, they have put out a man-wide hunt for him because he's the one, and he's been on TikTok. He's been all over the place for about a couple of months, telling these people how to buck the system. Now, people are going to hate me for this, and I really don't care. But you know what? He's doing right by his people. He's saying, yo, Pete, check it. Y'all come here, and y'all take somebody's crib. Y'all can stay, yo. Y'all managed to get your way in there. So y'all come on. See, all of this goes back to the feet of the administration. I don't blame these people. See, I'm one of those people who put myself in other people's shoes. I really do. Whether you believe it or not, I really do. So I don't blame him for what he's doing. He is taking full advantage of what the democratic system has laid out for him. You know how
so you're telling me that if you were on vacation and some illegal walked into your house because no one was there for a couple of days and took over your crib, that you're okay with that? All your money, all your personal belongings.
There you go. See, you're coinciding. I didn't even say that. That didn't come out of my mouth. I said I don't blame him for saying what he said. I didn't say if I come home.
But you didn't say he should be saying that. You're saying you're putting it at the foot of the Democrats.
Yes.
Bullshit. That guy should be in prison, and everybody who goes inside the house should be in prison. Not the homeowner who inherited that $1 million house. She's fucking in jail because she tried to
Randy, did you
get
not
the
hear
guy
what I
out.
said? I said I was looking from his perspective. I'm not talking about my perspective. Slow down, put the brakes, bro. I didn't say I agree with him.
But by saying you're looking from his perspective, you're agreeing with him.
Oh my goodness. No, I'm not agreeing with him.
Well, then you got to clarify that. What you should say is, although I find it's illegal and it's wrong and he should be in jail.
Randy, that's just like me saying if I wasn't over in Mexico, I don't blame those people from Mexico coming over here with the open invitation. But do I agree with them coming across the way they're coming across? No. That don't mean I agree with. See, unfortunately, my brain is built a lot different than a lot of people's brains because people who are following, y'all understand that I did not try to inflate approving what he's doing to understanding what he's doing. I'm putting myself in his mind. I'm putting myself in his situation. I'm putting myself in his shoes. Just like I'm doing the illegals that are coming across the border in Mexico. They have a free invitation from this administration to come across. If I was one of them, I'd be getting the hell out of there too. Do I agree with them crashing the border the way they are? No, because there's a right way to go about it. So
okay, now that's what you should have said before you said you put yourself in that guy's shoes. By that comment,
ladies and gentlemen, this is a prime example because I didn't say it the way Randy felt I should say it. It takes away from what I meant. No, ladies and gentlemen, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be, I know y'all understand it because there's a lot of you. It might not have came out the way you probably sitting back saying, "Well, Ray, I wouldn't have said it that way," but I understand what you're talking about. Come on now, come on. You can't take what I'm saying out of context because the words didn't fit the words you would rather me use. You know what I meant. I just didn't say it the way you wanted me to say it. You just said it. Well, if you would have said it like this, no, I say it the way I say it. And it's up to you to be able to have enough common sense to be able to break down what I'm talking about.
And see, and that's how the Democrats get their word across because they say the same thing over and over again to a certain word, certain terminology, and they keep saying it, and people believe it. So if all the people here is you saying, I can put myself into his shoes and understand why he's doing it, okay? And that's all they heard. Oh, okay. So Randy can put himself in that guy's shoes and agrees with him saying, all my friends, come to the United States, and if you see a house that's open, walk in, it's yours.
Prime example right here, Jen.
Yes.
Did you understand what I meant and what I was saying when I was talking?
Yes, I did. And please,
thank you. You don't have to go. You don't have to go no further. I just wanted you to say, yes, I did. I know there's, see, parachute. Wow. But that's what happens because that's what I do. I bring you the actual and the factual, and I will not let you get the better of me on a lie. I was not trying to say I agree with what he was doing. I was simply saying I understand how he's thinking.
Yeah, it was at the beginning when you said if it was you, you do that for your people too. Well, they're invited by the big guy to come on over. So you would do the same thing for your people. Say, hey guys, this is what you do when you get here if you don't have anywhere to stay. Find an empty house. I get that. But please, don't ever shave your head bald and wear lipstick, okay? Like the guy.
But ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I don't try to get under nobody's skin, but then again, I'm not going to let you win if your case is thin. I mean, that's just how we do it here in the lab.
Right.
I've told you a long time ago, you can bring the smoke, just get ready for the fire, because that's what I bring. I'm not going to speak upon nothing. I don't know what I'm talking about. My grandmother told me that a long time. Boy, don't never speak on nothing you don't know what you're talking about. It can get you hurt. Especially where I come from, it can get you hurt. So we see what happens once we have to put somebody in line, you know. Hey, I'll take the victory lap. I'll take the victory lap. What do we have here? James Campbell, I should do that, shave my head bald and wear lipstick. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad we got people in here. Well, you know, I never knew you had your own fan club. Obviously, they aren't awake yet. So they are going to be highly disappointed. And don't y'all go wake them up, because there's a bunch of them and she ain't got time to deal with y'all people today. What else do we got? Curry says it's the government's fault for allowing it. I would try to if I was those shoes. Thank you, Curry Mussings. I love it when I'm not going crazy. That's 3-1, Randy. 3-1, bro. 3-1. We gaining. We gaining. You can come back if you want to. I'll send you the link. You already got it. But that's my brother from another mother, and I love him. But those of you that know when Randy's on the show or when I'm on the show with them on their show, he always has to find a way to disagree with me. I don't know. I would call it a rebel thing, but then I'm a rebel myself. So we can't go there. But I think we got another clip while we got Jen with us, and she'll be breaking it down. Which one do we have? Oh, this is a good one. People forget what they say. But like I said, once you make it, you can't fake it.
Anyone, we could just list a few here. Staircases, bicycles, teleprompters.
Because the building made up of affordable housing units had no fire safe. None. It was not fire safe, period.
People's names.
You may remember, I got in trouble when we were running against the senator who was a Mormon.
But Joe Biden's biggest enemy, and no, it isn't Donald Trump, Joe Biden's absolute worst memory is the record. See, Joe Biden's a political fossil. He's been in the game longer than I've been alive. Joe Biden's been involved in politics or serving in some sort of government role for nearly 50 years, possibly even more than 50 years at this point. Back then, you could pretty much say what you want. Not everything was recorded like it is these days. It's not like everyone had a high-definition recording device that was portable fitting in their pockets. And so Joe Biden could say whatever the hell he wanted to and get away with it. He could say one thing to his working class constituents and say the exact opposite to the elite business owners. You know, the donor/lobbyist class. You know, kind of like Hillary Clinton's public and private policy little shtick there. But nowadays we live in a different world. We live in a world where everything is logged, everything is saved, everything is kept on the record. And that's not exactly a great environment for a flip-flopping, dishonest, loser politician like Creepy Joe, because whenever necessary, we can bring the receipts to show you just how much of a duplicitous, lying goon this guy really is. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. I want to start off with an old clip of Piss Pants Joe from back in 2006, actually a couple clips, and then let's contrast it to Joe Biden just yesterday at an event where he pretends to be a forward-thinking, bright progressive. We're going to clear the record, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so let's first start off by establishing Joe Biden's record. His record on what? Specifically, his record on gay marriage.
Do you support gay marriage? No, Barack Obama nor I support redefining from a civil side what constitutes marriage. We do not support that. That is basically a decision to be able to be left to the faith and people who practice their faith, the determination what you call it.
Gays, he don't like y'all.
The bottom line, though, is, and I'm glad to hear the governor, I take her at her word, obviously, that she thinks there should be no civil rights distinction, none whatsoever, between a committed gay couple and a committed heterosexual couple. If that's the case, we really don't have a difference.
Tomorrow in the Rose Garden to talk about a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage.
You know, think about this. The world's going to Hades in a handbasket.
Oh, shit. Did y'all hear what Joe Biden Papa said? The world is going to Hades in a hand. Oh, my goodness gracious.
No, it's just your
Yeah.
country. We're only 3 months in. The place is crumbling from the ground up. Oh my God. But go on. Pardon me. I interrupted.
He said the world is going to Haitians in the handbasket. And now the
Hades.
Haitians
Yeah.
are coming over. So what is Haiti? What is it? Is Joe telling us hell coming over?
No.
Joe just said hell's coming over.
He was talking about Hades, Hades, meaning hell. He was trying to say the world's going to hell in a handbasket.
So when Trump said places like it's a shithole, it was okay. It was actual and factual because even Biden said it was
yeah.
Haiti, hell, Haiti, hell.
Right.
How worse can you get?
Right. That's
I
so
think
funny.
hell is a lot worse than shithole, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
I'd rather go to a shithole than hell any day.
Right.
If somebody said when you die, do you want to go to a shithole or hell? I'd pick a shithole 7
There's
days
no
out of
fire.
the week and twice on Sunday.
Amen.
I know I got y'all cracking up. I know that's what I do. It's just some funny shit. It really is funny, and we ain't even got to go no further. But it just goes back, Jen, to the hypocrisy. I don't know how many clips of hypocrisy that we've shown today. I think it was 3. Like I was telling Big Bruce, when is enough enough? Your heart cannot be that compassionate. It can't be.
Right.
How many chances do you give these people? And it's not chances off of mistakes. That's one thing. Yeah. I got kids. I've raised them. I know they're gonna make mistakes. I've given them 3rd and 4th chances before off of mistakes. Because sooner or later you gotta learn. But yeah. But I've never given my kid a 2nd chance off of a lie. No. So when they come at all of this, you can't say the election was stolen. And I've just showed clips with them saying the election was stolen. When they talk about, just anything. One thing I've learned about the Democrats, anything they talk about, they either did it or they're going to do it.
Ooh, that's good.
Because none of it's an original idea. They're too damn stupid. Anything the Democrats talk about, they either did or they're going to do.
For everything Letitia James was accusing Trump of were things that were happening by Biden in her own party at the same time. It's crazy. And Bruce, bless his heart, even when he was talking about the boxes of documents, I was like, no. It was okay for Trump to take it, like you said, the Presidential Records Act. But what Biden was doing in his garage and in his Corvette, that was not. And my heart goes out to him. Don't be deceived. Did you hear Kamala's accent at the end? It was a clip you did with Kamala, and she was talking about Stacey Abrams. And she says, well, if the election wasn't stolen, and then she brought on this weird Southern accent, like she's from Georgia, and she's not. And she's like, then Stacey Abrams would be elected. I'm like, oh, shut up. Don't be deceived. It's just like Hillary Clinton did. Remember when she was trying to relate to the African Americans, and she said, I always carry my hot sauce everywhere. Oh my gosh. We have hot sauce. We like it too.
Well, when Bill Clinton got on Arsenio Hall and was playing the saxophone.
Oh, come on. Oh, that was funny. Yeah, that was crazy.
Now that I'm wiser, a little older,
yeah,
I can sit back, Jen, and I can see the bullshit. Brother Irv, good afternoon. The van man, the flag van man. Vicky Marshall, good afternoon. Vicky Marshall Laws, good afternoon. Savarez Mansour, good afternoon. Vicky Boyd, good afternoon. Joan Prophet Pest, good afternoon. Brittany Sue Ellen, good afternoon. Barbara Kleck Beckman, good afternoon. David Navarre. Good afternoon, Benjamin Briscoe. Good afternoon, Freedom Lynn. Good afternoon, Callie Bennett. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on a nice afternoon edition. Don't forget tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We got a great show in store for you guys and gals. You don't want to miss it, especially what's going on with P. Diddy. Oh, man. The fall from grace. I mean, that's the only way I could sum it up, because you know, we've always thought, we've always had some type of inkling, but when you leave not to come back, when you selling off shit, when you got guilt going around, what can you say? But he tried, and we're gonna go ahead and see what his statement was that he came out with, him and his attorney. So, Diddy's attorney, Aaron Dyer, has issued a statement following the recent raids on Sean Diddy Combs' home in Los Angeles and Miami by the Homeland Security Investigation. Now, y'all know who they are. Those are the guys who specifically go after sex traffickers. These raids are related to a federal sex trafficking case. Here's what the attorney had to say. Yesterday, there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residence. Last time I checked, they used the same amount of force going into Mar-a-Lago. They used the same amount of force going into Roger Stone's house at 3 in the morning with the bright lights. So what are you complaining about, Mr. Attorney? Let's proceed. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to the corporate and authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has the ability to travel been restricted in any way. Well, we know he is in Antigua right now on limited travel. They have him grounded there. We do know that. And I would dare say them knowing that Puffy had his own security, well, after all, they discovered numerous guns. So I don't fault them for going in there the way they did. This unprecedented ambush paired with an advanced coordinated media presence leads to a premature rush to judgment. Well, sounds like Trump. Of course, some of Combs and his nothing more than a witch hunt based on mereless accusations made in civil suits. Last time I checked, first-hand accountability witnesses, everybody turning over on you, Mr. Combs. The situation surrounding Diddy remains tense, with allegations of drugging young women and potential crimes committed across multiple states. Authorities are likely searching for evidence such as laptops and flash drives that could connect Combs to all of these allegations. And we all know that Cat Williams was one of the first ones that let the cat out the bag on Mr. Combs with his Freaknik parties and all this, and how he had to turn down $50 million, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times to save his booty. And man, you know, everybody can't be wrong. That's what I always say. Everybody can't be wrong. So now you got P. Diddy against all his victims. Everybody can't be wrong. You know, I put a post up the other day talking about they coming to get you, Diddy. And people that, honest to God, people, Jen, that I never thought even watch my show or follow me.
Hey.
In the comments talking about time. I mean, these are older people too. I'm like, wow, y'all knew about this. Y'all ain't never said nothing. I mean,
that's funny. You summoned them. I don't know. That's crazy.
But man,
you were right.
What do you
It
think?
validates you. Wow. You don't even want to be validated on this, but wow. Good call.
But it's just, Jen, the music industry. Do you know all of the people that he's been involved with, from Justin Bieber to Criss Cross, the Mac can make you want jump, jump, the Mac Daddy make you jump. All these people got stories, man.
Wow.
And you watch different people talk about the different things that go on at his parties, and I mean, like they say, you're innocent until proven guilty, but bro, it don't look good. It don't look good. And once again, I'm not agreeing, but I'm putting myself in his shoes. I see why he left. He's like, yo, y'all ain't R. Kelly and me yet. Not yet. Y'all gonna have to come get me. He ain't trying to turn himself in. That man is a mogul. That man built a name, an empire, literally off the backs of other people.
Oh my gosh. Do you think there's any correlation between the boat hitting the bridge and it being at pretty much the same time that he was on his private jet flying to the Caribbean?
Why
Was
would
one
you say that?
that would be
Because,
bad. No, it's a conspiracy. That's bad.
but
They
you know,
just
Jen, people that don't even get down with how we get down, that just everyday,
right.
ordinary, walking around the street people, they're like, wow. They just keep overflooding us with information. They just overflooding us all the time. It's just going from
Right.
one thing to another thing, one thing to another thing. They hoping black people keep fixated on Pete Diddy, and you know, the people that know about Pete Diddy, and take focus off of what's really going on with this cargo ship, because the best thing they do is try to sweep it under the rug. They try to make it disappear, like it never happened, because we're on the problem. We're fixing the problem. Can we find out how the problem got created? How the problem started? Can we find out the two captains' names of the vessel? Normally that shit's in the headline because they under drug tests. You know what I'm saying? Normally, you know, co-captain, the captain being tested for drugs. We know. That's another thing that throws up red flags when they don't. Whatever happened to transparency? So they make people like me, people like you and others, they make us dig. And no matter what we dig and come up with, and no matter how we put our spin on it and slice it and dice it, it's always going to be labeled a conspiracy theory, because only they know the truth.
Wow.
Only they know the truth. And like Randy said earlier, why would I all of a sudden trust the FBI or Joe Biden because they come out in front of a microphone 20 minutes later and act like their word is gospel? You know, why would they do that? But today is let them have it day. So I love it when people just go down in flames and crash and burn. Trump's like me. You bring the smoke, bitch, you better get ready for the fire. Here's her again. Where you at now, Boss James? Where you at?
It's fraud. Donald Trump falsely, knowingly inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself, his family, and to cheat the system. Donald Trump may have authored the art of the deal, but he perfected the art of the steal. This long-running fraud was intentional, egregious, illegal, and he did all of this with the help of the other defendants, his two adult sons and senior executives at the Trump Organization. So,
Oh my
for 11 weeks of trial, we showed the staggering extent of his fraud and exactly how Donald Trump and the other defendants deceived banks, insurance companies, and other financial institutions for their own personal gain. We proved just how much Donald Trump, his family, and his company unjustly benefited from his fraud. Today, the court, once again, ruled in our favor and in favor of every hard-working American who plays by the rules.
I got to throw up. I got to throw up. Wait a minute. I got to throw up.
That was so bad. Every account she brought up was they're guilty of. Her party is guilty of. Oh my
But
gosh.
she gonna be on that show. She gonna be on that new show. Where are they now? Because she ain't got a job no more. That's all. He who laughs last laughs the best. Oh my
Good call.
goodness. That's why I save clips with these people. Oh gosh, it's so hilarious to see these women with their pom-poms and they're gonna lock Trump up and they're gonna take his properties, and Trump has been guilty of corruption and we're gonna hit him with $364 million and it's gonna get $100,000 a day and we're gonna break him. Bitch, he broke you.
Karma. Right.
He broke you.
Good call.
Just like he broke the rest of them. See, when are y'all gonna learn y'all cannot take this man down with lies? And the mainstream media, MSNBC, CNN, NBC, do you know what they're over there telling their people? We can't believe these people are just still supporting Trump. We can't believe his numbers are going up. What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with us? We see the lie. Y'all the ones that are stuck on that Trump derangement syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all really want us to go along with the lie. Y'all don't realize how idiotic y'all make yourselves look when y'all on TV.
Right. Oh, it's
really,
that.
Jen? They do.
And people ask me, they're like, you're still in the Trump camp after 91 indictments. I'm like, give them some more. We'll get more people on our side. It's getting stupid. It's obvious election interference, but no one's talking about that. They're just letting them do it. So, okay, that brings me to another silly phrase where about don't interrupt your enemy, or don't give, what is it? Give them, don't interrupt your enemy when they're trying to kill themselves, or give them more rope or something. It's okay. Let them make fools out of themselves. Let them hang themselves. Let them give Trump another indictment. I hope not. This is stupid because it's costing him family time and money. That's ridiculous. It's getting so stupid. When people ask me, what about the 91 indictments? I'm like, they're indictments. They're not convictions. He never got convicted of one of them.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, when are people going to realize and understand? Donald Trump is a fighter. That's how he's able to build the wealth and build the business brand that he's been able to build. These are amateurs. These are the little rascals trying to come after the Incredible Hulk all together. He's just knocking them off one by one. He's just knocking them off one by one. He just
so funny. True.
Because they look so pathetic. That's how he can walk around with his head held up high, with his chest out, just looking at these people like, I do this for a living. Do you know how stupid y'all are looking? I sat across from people way better than y'all. Because he knows the outcome at the end of the bullshit. He put the Supreme Court in his back pocket before he even stepped into the ring to battle. So he already knew the Supreme Court was the backdrop. So when you know the Supreme Court's gonna, I tell people all the time, at the end of the day, whether they like it or not, they're gonna uphold the rule of law. And if they haven't shown you guys that with numerous examples, I just can't wait for this to go through the Court of Appeals and it be over. That's when I'm really gonna come after the boss girl.
Right.
Because she's still telling her people, he's still gonna have to pay $364 million. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then Joe Biden, he's not worth the money he said he's worth. Do you see what they have to come out and tell their people?
Lies.
I don't know. But I guess we gotta keep doing it. what they say, those 91 indictments are actually just 2 charges. Thanks for breaking that down. I never really knew that. So they just try to make it look big. They try to make it look like it's important when it's really not.
Wow. Wow.
It's all good. It's all good. But we had a great show today. Jen, any last words for the viewers? I can imagine what the numbers are today. We've been on
Awesome.
2 hours and 4 minutes. It was great.
Definitely. Thank you for watching, viewers. Thank you.
And don't forget, tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard, I will be back here in the lab. Jen, the homeschooler mom, will be hosting a great show. We have 2 spectacular ladies that are going to be on here giving testimonies from the industry and how they've overcome and developed themselves into just, we can call them pillars of the community, advocates for trafficking, whether it's kids, men, women. So 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Be there or be, you already know. But in the meantime, in between time, from the Patriots Lab, thank you for tuning in. Jen, thank you as always.
Thank you.
We are out. See you tonight. Share